What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Yee Yee podcast, episode 48.
We're back.
Can't believe we've been doing it this long.
This is my first time on the podcast.
Wow, welcome on,
Thanks,
Brian.
guys. It's good to be
There
here.
was a joke a few weeks ago where Tyler, if you weren't listening, asked if Brian had ever been on the podcast. How many times do you think you've been on the podcast?
I would say like 8 or 9,
Okay, I thought it was actually more.
maybe more.
So let's go around the room real quick. And are you wearing gear? No, you're wearing old gear. Is that new?
This is old.
Okay, so only Ben and I are wearing the new gear. So Ben, what shirt you got on over there?
I got the Body by Venison tee. I am a big fan. A couple weeks ago, we did a little Yee game show on Instagram Live. If you didn't catch that, stay tuned because we'll be back with it again. It was a lot of fun. But Brian fried up some deer meat. Brian and Hayden did. And so I really just wanted to show my colors with the Body by Venison shirt. And
it's a good contrast
also,
with your sunburn you got going on there, too.
Yes. I got this at this beautiful sunburn, if you're watching on YouTube, at the spring launch shoot that we just had this weekend. It was eventful, to say the least.
I think these room lights could sunburn you, Ben.
They might. They really might.
We were not out for that long, and Ben looked like Mr. Krabs.
I think my favorite comment, because I was honestly getting pretty tired of people commenting on the fact that I was getting sunburnt, but the only one that I thought was actually clever was you, Hayden. You were like, Ben, it's literally February, and you're getting sunburned.
Welcome to Texas.
I don't think I've ever seen anyone get sunburnt in the winter.
You're
Ben's
looking
like,
at
just stop being genuinely concerned about me. That's more annoying. Like, just at least be clever about it and make fun of me. Hayden was just angry with Ben. He's like, why is this happening?
Yeah, so that shirt, that's a lot of our shirts, as you know, if you've been buying from us for a long time, are unisex fit, the t-shirts. But is that technically going to be under Country Boys or Country Girls?
That will be Country Girls. That was Amber's idea for some girls, because they'll it's a popular trend right now to be body by, I don't know, McDonald's or just some junk food that girls like. Girls love to just act like regular foods are such a splurge treat, like shredded cheese, or I don't know.
Did you see my tweet this weekend? I tweeted, girls that say you should use cleaning product with less chemicals will literally drink 3 bottles of wine and stuff their face with a Domino's pizza every weekend. It's fair. So true, though.
Yeah.
That's very true.
And solve it all with a lemon water the next morning.
I saw
Or a Diet
avocado
Coke.
toast.
Or avocado toast. Yeah, that's good.
Yep.
What'd you say?
Diet Coke.
Or a Diet Coke. Yeah. Yeah, Diet Coke. Oh, man. And then I've got on one of the fishing tees, which I'm going to try to turn around real quick because the design is in the back.
Try to stay farther. Yeah, there
Stay
you go.
close to the couch.
Boom. Is that a bass on the back?
Something
It
like
is.
Yes.
Last time I tried to show a shirt on a podcast, I literally stood right in front of the camera, and I think all people saw was my butt. So I would
And
just
no one
Hayden,
complained.
stay far back.
We never go back and watch the YouTube. I was actually going back and listening to one of our episodes from last week with Chris Lee, and we don't even acknowledge the people that are just listening to this podcast. We just assume everybody's watching. You're like, all right, let's see that shirt, Chris. And Chris just goes, it just gets quiet. The people listening have no idea what's going on.
That's
You're
why.
like, so why don't you tell us the story of that shirt, Chris?
That's why, even if you don't watch faithfully every week, you should subscribe to our YouTube. We're trying to do a lot more content, which kind of goes into the next thing that we're going to talk about is we crush, self-admittedly, we crush on a lot of the content. Yeah, do that little fist bump over there. Terrible audio, by the way, if you're listening. Going back to that. We crush a lot of the memes and different stuff like that we do, and that's kind of the bread and butter that we've always done, and that's how we've grown all the accounts and honestly had a lot of people come into Yee Nation as customers and consumers and everything else. But we've been talking a little bit about trying to do some more of our own content that we are creating, that we own. And that takes a lot of time too. I mean, these videos, it can be a 60-second video that we've done before, whether it's with Earl or something ourselves. And there's writing the video, then there's going through some edits and getting everybody's opinions, and then everyone has their own little thing they want to add to it. So it's going through that, then getting everyone together, because sometimes our shippers, some days we'll have 8 shippers back there, and then some days we have 2. just depending on the influx of orders. So it's having the people that we need here that are working those days, Brian being able to be here and film it, then Brian's got to edit everything, then we
And then reshoot it.
yeah, sometimes reshoot it. Then we sometimes get the product and we're like, okay, let's change these few things. So all that is to say is it's making your own content isn't easy.
It's especially not easy when people don't listen to my video ideas and discourage me.
That is true. Yeah. I think that happens a lot around here, unintentionally.
I mean, are you going to share or are you just going to foreshadow?
I don't know. Should I share?
I think you should share.
Sure.
I had a viral video idea today because I can't think of anything original. I just copy other people's videos exactly and put my life in danger.
But that's what the
That's
internet is, really.
It's true. That's what life is.
I never thought that I would be the voice of reason. We all got up on the rooftop. It had to do with the roof. And we got up there and I said, this is not a good idea. And then we had a vote. We actually had a vote on the roof if we should do this or
There was
not.
like 30-mile-per-hour winds.
I will send this video to you, Brian. You can put it on the podcast. There's a TikTok of these guys like hanging out on the roof, and they're like, "Man, it's beautiful up here. They're shoveling snow," and then a guy just falls off the roof, or looks like he falls off the roof, and then the camera just casually passes him by. And so there's like a little lip on our roof where it's like a 6-foot drop, and I was like, I could just pretend to fall off the roof, and then be fine because it's only a 6-foot drop. But then we got up there and it's like 30-mile-an-hour winds and a really sketchy metal roof,
and it's
then,
onto another slanted roof.
So if you
Yeah.
fall, you got to stop yourself, and you're not
Yeah.
stopping yourself.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it probably wasn't worth it. I think 22-year-old Parker probably would have done it, but
I miss the old Parker.
I got a family to worry about now.
That's right.
Doesn't even have a dog.
You got to be responsible.
So yeah, so
Put
we
food on the table. If you're just engaged, you don't have children at home.
it's like, my dude, you go to bed at 7:30 p.m. So yeah, there's a lot of different things that we're trying out right now. One of the things that you may have seen, so if you're familiar with Granger music and Yee Yee and all the different ecosystem, the Smiths, Earl Dibbles, all the different ecosystem, of all the content and different things that we put out, you're probably familiar with Chris Lee, aka Chris Gaines, aka Randall. We had him on the podcast last week, which was a really, really good interview and super fun. He is Granger's tour manager, and he's a content creator himself and super, super funny. And he's been doing it for a while and has some incredible, he's a great writer on that stuff. And so we've wanted to work with him and figure out something that we can all do together for a while. So we're starting this little thing called Morning Coffee, and it's his alter ego, Randall. And so those are going to be coming out a few times a week. We don't really have a set schedule, but it's going to be kind of like TMZ, but for country boys, I guess. His first video, he was talking about Morgan Wallen getting a girlfriend. So yeah, just kind of little rundown more in the morning, maybe a minute long, and it'll be super quick, and you can feel a little bit smarter after you watch that because you'll know what's going on. Brian has recently become a gamer.
Not recently.
Oh,
This
you've
goes
always been a
back to my
gamer.
college years.
Okay. So we're trying to maybe start a Twitch, which I know nothing about.
And
but
by gaming, I mean like play once a week when my friends are playing. So not really.
What's a Twitch for those who don't know?
yeah, so I actually was going to ask people in the comments that game to answer best you can. Comment below and answer best you can what Twitch is. Brian, why don't you explain it?
It's basically a social media platform where people can play video games and like stream it and just commentate while they play, and people can come watch, which on the outside sounds very boring, but if it's like a game you're into or whatever the case is, it can definitely be entertaining when the person is really good or if they're bad. It's fun to watch.
So, and then it's kind of just following the trend of, and you may be listening at home like, I have no idea about any of this, and we don't necessarily either, especially Parker and I, but the last few years, esports and e-gaming has just blown up. It's the next big industry. And whenever that happens as a business, we have to look and say, is this worth it for us to be a part of this? How can we integrate ourselves in it? And sometimes it's not worth it. Sometimes it is. There's the big thing right now is NFTs, non-fungible tokens, which we're not going to get into that. You can look up into that. But we've had a lot of offers to do stuff like that. And at this time, that doesn't feel like something that we're going to be doing, but it certainly doesn't discount what we could be doing in the future. So that was one of those things that we got together, got on some calls with some different leaders in the industry, and try to figure out if we can make it work. So there's a lot of those things that we always have to have our ear to the ground and know, because, I mean, Parker, you know this, but if you're not changing as industries change, you're just going to be left for dead, honestly.
So you're saying we're going to have to play NASCAR Heat in the office?
Yep.
Oh.
I really think it's just an excuse for us to play.
I'm not upset about
Are
it.
they going to release a new NASCAR Heat?
I think it's
for
this.
this
They released a 2021, but it's a whole new game developer, and so like the graphics are different, everything's different, and it sucks. It's a developer
It's
that's
tough.
never made like a racing game. Really?
Did y'all play it?
Yeah, Ben
Yeah.
has it.
I played
they
it
called it
once.
NASCAR Heat,
No,
No.
it's just NASCAR.
NASCAR Ignition?
Yeah.
and the
it's-
regular NASCAR Heat is every 2 years.
No, it just like each NASCAR game has like a contract, and so it's
Oh.
like whoever made the Heat had like 5 years or whatever, and now the contract went to this new company,
Man.
and they have a 2-year contract, so there'll be a new game this year that's gonna suck also, and then hopefully it'll get back.
By the way, naming it NASCAR Ignition is just ripping off NASCAR Heat. You know the meme where it says, "Can I copy your homework?" And then the other
Yeah.
person says, "Yeah, just change a few things."
So it
That's
doesn't
exactly-
look like you copied.
Yeah,
Yeah.
NASCAR Ignition. Are you kidding me?
NASCAR Warmth, NASCAR Fuego.
Speaking of NASCAR, it's back.
It is back.
Man,
back.
Daytona
Daytona.
is so awesome.
Yeah,
It's back.
we gotta go next year.
I had an invite to go this year, and then because I had a friend move down to that area, and then it just snuck up on me, and I forgot. But man, what a race! We watched. I think all of us kind of watched off and on all weekend, but it was cool. Classic. Austin Cindric is a rookie and goes. He went from the Xfinity level, which is the mid level, and so we were fans of Brandon Jones last year, all year, because Brandon had the Yee Yee car. We got to be pretty good friends with him. So Austin was in his level of Xfinity, just crushed it all year. So he got an invite with the team to go up to Cup Series, and then his first race he won, which was not really surprising. I feel like the dude, he had a hot rod that was going all day. So it's just kind of how it is.
There were some crazy wrecks too this weekend. Couple flipped cars in different races too.
We'd love to see a good wreck.
Yeah, but it was Harrison Burton,
Yeah,
and
but
I
yeah.
like him. He's
Yeah.
friends with Brandon Jones too, so I was hoping he was okay, but he's all good.
Brandon's management actually reached out and said now is the time to start talks for 2023 season, since he was booked out for 2022.
Let's do it. Whole car all year.
Yeah. So we just need Jerky to really take off
So
to do that. But that would be the long-term goal. I think that'd be sick.
So a lot of people have asked if we're doing a car this year. Parker, do you want to add anything to that?
No, we actually we tried. Brandon was completely booked out for the year, and we did reach out to another driver, but it was just too much. We tried, it didn't work out.
Jeff Gordon, right?
They
That was the
actually
other
did
driver?
reach out.
No, it's Tony Stewart.
Tony Stewart. That's right.
He's just been retired for years now.
They reached out actually after this
I saw
this
it.
race and was like, he got top 5. But yeah, so we're looking to 2023, and then it'd be interesting, like if we can have like a clean slate here. What race, if we could pick any race for the 2023 season, what race would y'all pick here? And let us know in the comments too. If you could see the Yee car at any racetrack in the United States, where would it be?
I would have to say Talladega, just because it's a
Mhm.
classic, one of those classic super speedways.
I'm gonna go with Michigan. Just from what I've heard from like the drivers that we've talked to and stuff like that, they said fans are crazy up there, and just like Yee Yee Nation in general, it's just well represented in Michigan. So I feel like that'd be a lot of fun.
We did have multiple drivers and crew members tell us last year, whenever we were involved in NASCAR, that Michigan is the wildest fans out of everywhere. They said over Talladega, over every single place you hear about, Michigan has the wildest fans, which we've seen too with Yee Yee Nation. And that, like you said, that is our bread and butter part of the country. That's typically where we have the most customers and consumers. What about you, Park?
I love Talladega as well, but it's just like not as big of a market for us right now. So it'd be
Yeah.
fun. Bristol was awesome because it was a kind of a cool mix of like old NASCAR, like legend, and then also like within driving distance. I think Michigan too would be pretty sick.
Yeah.
I think Daytona would be the best because
Where
it's the big
where
race.
is Daytona and where is Talladega?
Daytona is in Florida. Did you not know that?
No, I just don't think about these.
Did you not know where Talladega? Do you know where Talladega is?
Bama, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, Daytona's just the Great American Race. It's the first of the year. Of course, we could always get the second race, but that is the Big Daddy. I was looking at the Nielsen ratings on TV viewership, and Daytona just usually crushes. And the Clash at the LA Coliseum this year, that was the first time I've ever done that. That may have had really good ratings. I haven't looked, but I was looking at the last few years, and Daytona just always is the top ratings.
I would also say the Charlotte road course because that's my favorite track on NASCAR Heat.
I think also if we did Charlotte, we could go for a week and really get some cool content. And because that's where NASCAR is headquartered, that's where all these drivers live and their crews and stuff for the most part, which is so interesting because if you look at any other sport, like you've got teams, you've got the LA Lakers, you've got the New York Knicks, you've got the Dallas Mavericks. They're all over the country. But for NASCAR, everyone for the most part is within an hour to 2 hours of Charlotte, and they drive in season and stuff. So I think it's super cool. Whenever I was out in Charlotte, we were on Lake Norman, which is, I'm sure a lot of people listening will know. We've got some friends that live out there, and we were out on a boat a couple years ago, and there's so many beautiful houses on the cliffs, and someone would just be like, oh yeah, that's Jeff Gordon's house, that's blah blah blah's house, like mansions that sit right on the water. And it's literally like a street, and this one street will have 10 houses, and 4 of them will be NASCAR drivers or like team owners or just big wigs in the NASCAR community. So you don't get that anywhere else. Like,
Do you think they race boats around the lake on their off season
great question.
or just off weekend? I guess since it would be NASCAR goes through the summer.
They have a
great
long
question.
season. Is that one of the longest like
gotta
sports
be.
seasons there is?
Yeah, it's got to be.
It's insane. What is it? February to November?
Yeah, it's
the
really
bad thing
long.
about having Daytona as your primary sponsorship is then after the first race, then you're done for the rest of the year. Versus, it was fun having Bristol last year because we just looked forward to it the entire season and watched Brandon the whole season.
It's true.
Ben, why don't you pick up that little paper that Maddie slipped under the door of the podcast studio?
I'll grab it right now, Hayden.
What is this?
Ben
This is our
told
fan
us
of the
about
week?
it. Told us about a really sweet fan comment that we got.
Is this the fan of the week?
yeah. Let's do that. Why don't you read it off first, and then don't say the name, and then we'll give this
I
person.
would just call them a listener. I wouldn't necessarily call that a fan.
Or yeah, whatever. I mean,
The first sentence says, I do enjoy the podcast.
wait, who wants to read it? Are you doing his homework for him?
You read it, Brian.
I do enjoy the podcast. You all seem to be quite competitive, which is true. You should have an arm wrestling contest on one episode. Invite Chris back to do it. And not that scrawny guy that's on sometimes. Huh.
Who do you think that could be?
Sorry, Ben. Is this about you?
I think it might be about you, Brian.
Wow. Okay, well, this is going up on the wall now to
We
little
told
motivation.
Brian that could go up either on his bathroom mirror, maybe in the pantry when you think you're full. Go in there and get another power bar.
If only I had a pantry.
You should just do a complete power move and go post that at the gym mirror and see how long they keep it up at the gym before they just take it down.
That's true.
Or you could just put it next to your sign in your apartment that says "Haters are my motivators." I know you look at that every day.
Oh yeah, above
Yeah.
the kitchen counter. Yeah, you do have that.
Brian,
sign.
tell us about the anti-motivational quotes that you have.
So I guess it was like a year or so ago, my friend group randomly started a anti-motivational quotes group notes. Let me see if I can find it here.
Read us some of your favorites.
Shout out to McCrae. He started this. Reverse motivational quotes. Okay. First one, do steroids, you're going to die anyways.
Do not. If you're at home, do not. It's not worth it.
Feel like skipping leg
heard
day,
it.
do it.
Chris Lee would endorse that one.
Tired of muscle soreness, stop working out. You will never be fit.
Is there anything that's not fitness focused?
It is guaranteed that if you don't pay for a gym membership, you will be richer.
That actually is very true.
One day you will kill just to look like you when you were halfway through your fitness journey. So
Are they all fitness focused?
I think so. This was McRae that started this. So.
Who is built like a Greek god?
Being fit might make people more attracted to you, but for how long?
That's deep.
These are also things that make me think.
Yeah.
Remember that every time you go to the gym, that it doesn't really matter.
Yep. Doesn't matter. One day soon, you will be as fit as you will ever be. I think that's the biggest one.
I think I've already been there.
Peak
You haven't
performance.
I believe in you.
Thank you, Parker.
We got some shows coming up. Granger has some shows. I act like I have anything to do with it. I don't. So if you're in Alaska, which I don't know if we have any Alaskan listeners, but
Yeah, we do.
Who are you?
yeah, where do you live?
Who are you?
Where do you go to the grocery store? I have questions. Do you just go out and kill bears?
Salmon.
Do they have veggies? I wonder if they even can eat their veggies in Alaska.
It's an imported good.
I bet it's so expensive to get an avocado up to Alaska.
There's a lot of things we don't know about Alaska.
Comment if you're listening from Alaska. Comment below because I don't know if we have.
Let's
an
have you on the
Alaska
podcast.
listener. Just ask you.
Just zoom you in. We're going to answer all these questions.
I actually want to do a segment. I had this idea the other day. If we had like a 5-minute segment, not every episode, but every once in a while, where we just find someone with random jobs and just ask them questions about their jobs.
Like random, just everyday jobs.
I had a job that I thought of that was well, I want to ask questions to a probation officer. I have lots of questions about being a probation officer.
I think like a 911 dispatcher too. I would have questions for.
Me too. That's a good one. Okay, here's some dates for Granger. February 24th. Soldotsna. It is this is in Alaska. This shouldn't even be named of a town.
Soldotna.
Soldotna, but there's no way that's how you pronounce it. Someone comment. February 25th, Anchorage, Alaska. I knew that one.
Yeah, you did.
February 26th, Fairbanks, Alaska. And then there may be some dates pop up, but right now March 25th, Billy Bob's. That was just announced. The tickets are going to go on sale this week. There will probably be a lot of us there, so come hang out.
March 25th? That's the NASCAR weekend.
March 26th, Moe's Place, Katy, Texas. And then there's 2 dates for April. Duluth, Minnesota on April 2nd, and April 22nd is Pensacola, Florida. And then dates start coming in. There's a lot of May dates. We'll remind y'all whenever they get closer, but yeah, it's got to be good to be out on the road. I don't know. I'm not out on the road, but
Are you going to go?
I mean, I want to go to Billy Bob's, but it is NASCAR. So
I want to go to Alaska.
What is that weekend?
That's the Coda weekend.
Oh, in Austin?
Right in Austin, yeah.
dude, and the golf tournament, the PGA golf tournament is that weekend. So Austin
It's
is
a
going to
big
have
weekend.
Austin's going to have a big sports weekend.
Okay,
Oh, man,
real quick,
stay out
what do
of
y'all
the
think the population of Alaska is?
2 million.
No.
No. I'm gonna go with
I mean,
800,000.
I'm going to go with I'm going to go with yeah, is this Price is Right?
Yes, it is.
I'm going to go with 350.
350, a winner. He did go over, but 731,000.
I wonder how much of that is in Anchorage and Fairbanks.
Probably
Or Juneau.
quite a bit.
Look it up.
I feel like
Anchorage
no one's
is
in
293.
Fairbanks, right?
Wait, what'd you say?
Is anyone in Fairbanks? I feel like it's pretty harsh up there.
Anchorage is 293. And Fairbanks is 31,000.
Oh, that is way smaller than
They
I
better
thought.
all go to the show.
Juneau's the
How are we
capital
playing a show in Fairbanks if there's 31,000 people
to
there?
see the Northern Lights, basically.
Granger just booked it so he can see the Northern Lights.
Alaska is just like people who haven't seen the sun in weeks, just like in a dingy room smoking a cigarette and like an old Carhartt jacket.
It sounds like
That's what I imagine.
Brian, actually.
No, that's not me. You think they ever have snowball fights in Alaska, or are you just like so over the snow?
No, I
Don't
think that a
care that
lot of
much.
places.
Is that just us in Texas?
Well,
I think they're all convicts, and so they just have
Whoa.
actual fights.
What?
you're gonna offend a lot of people with that.
What, inmates?
You think that everyone
In
in Alaska
Alaska?
is a prisoner?
Yeah, everybody in Alaska is a prisoner. That's like a known fact.
All 700.
The crime rate is like terrible up there.
Really?
Yeah. Look it up.
He's like,
I thought this was known knowledge.
Parker just got a lot of new haters. I saw I saw a thing about a lot of towns in Alaska that actually I think this goes against this, because I saw a thing once that said there are towns that no one leaves their cars locked because the crime rate is low, and that polar bears are everywhere. In some of these towns, they're like way up there.
dang, that'd be cool.
So polar bears are the most aggressive bear there is.
Nice.
And they, like, people literally leave their cars unlocked. So if a polar bear's charging you, you can just jump in a random car. And I don't remember where I saw that. I'll have to find the article or something. And maybe it was just one town, but can you imagine? And you know how you're always told, like, grizzly bear fight back, black bear play dead. I don't think you can do anything for polar bears. Like, I think if you see it, you're kind of screwed. They're so aggressive.
What do you think the best bear is?
Black bear.
Dude,
Correct.
grizzlies are sick, though.
What's a wedding update, Parker? People want to know.
There's going to be
Hold on, real
a
quick.
ring bear there.
You got a
gonna be a
fuzz.
grizzly.
You had that fuzz on your mic last week, and it's still there.
Thanks.
Oh, no, it's on my shirt.
Chef's kiss.
Chef's
It's
kiss.
great content.
Wedding update
Yep.
is I'm getting married.
Woo! Can you drop the... Oh, yeah. Can you drop the Addy, the time, and the date?
Yes. January 1st, 12 a.m., Anchorage, Alaska,
Nice.
What venue?
at the
At the William A. Egan Convention Center, probably.
yes.
Just drop it and I'll beep it out.
We should just market my wedding to one of Granger's random tour dates that's struggling with ticket sales and just get people to show up.
Can the people have an address to send a wedding gift if they're not invited?
You can send it to the P.O. box,
There you
our
go.
P.O. box.
You have a P.O. box?
The farm does.
Oh, the farm does.
Mm.
It's on, I don't know where they can find it.
Is that where you get stuff sent for TikTok sponsorships?
I wish.
Is that where you got these sweet gold chains sent that Brian and I stole from you?
That
was a
was
gift.
from an Instagram DM.
Oh, okay.
This was a gift.
Jackson Gold.
Oh, no free
No.
ads.
All right, let's go to break.
Okay, let's go to break. What's up, guys? Thank y'all for listening to the Yee Yee podcast. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button so you never miss a video. Also, hit that little bell so you're the first to know whenever we upload new videos. All right, welcome back to the Yee Yee podcast. Ben, who is our fan of the week?
Our fan of the week this week is Carol White.
Yeah.
There you go, Carol. I always believed in you.
Why do we have a fan of the week?
I kind of agree with what Parker just said. I don't really love fan of the week. I kind of like listener of the week. But
Okay.
we started with fan of the
Listen.
week, so
I have to
let's
die-
change it.
I have to
Hey,
die on that sword.
congrats, Carol, for being listener of the week.
Woo! Kind of just reworded what I said, but haha, yeah.
Well, no, I mean we're going with listeners of the week now.
Did
It's
she
weird.
get anything?
No,
not yet.
she doesn't get anything.
One
But
day.
she got some claps.
Yep.
Yes.
Real quick, show everyone at home your little clap thing that you were just doing.
No, that's for next episode.
Okay.
That's a teaser.
Yeah.
Stick around next
Wow.
week.
Stick around next week. Hey,
I gotta practice a little bit.
make sure you like and subscribe.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of practicing, I am learning how to play. I found my old flutophone, also known as a recorder, and I
Wait,
learned
what did you just call it?
a flutophone. That's what we called it in Texas.
Wow.
Comment below if you called it a recorder or flutophone. I know most people called it a recorder, but at
recorder.
our school, for some reason, we called it a flutophone.
Is that just a requirement? Like every third and fourth
I
grader
think
has
so.
to just play the
Yeah.
recorder.
I
I've
also
never
think that
seen-
it. Go ahead.
I've never seen that instrument in any other circumstance except for like
Dude, what if we
elementary school.
What if we all learned what if Granger wrote us a song, we all got recorders and we learned how to play it and we dropped a song. The Yee podcast dropped a song.
Let's do it.
Sounds like a horrible idea.
Keep those ideas coming.
I'll hit
Gonna
eventually.
strike one day.
But anyways, I learned how to play Titanic.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, My Heart Will Go On by Celine Dion. And much the dismay of my neighbors, and my girlfriend, I've gotten it down pretty good. I only mess up a couple notes, so I'll have to play it maybe I'll play it next week.
Do the dogs like
should.
it?
No, you can tell it's like the high pitch. They don't love it. I usually go and sit on the porch. So if you drive by my house at like 6 p.m., beautiful sunset, I'm just that's me.
That would be a hilarious video, actually. It's just like a backyard sunset, and it just pans to you, just playing your little flutophone.
It's really hard to do the notes too.
That's what gets all the girls running to you.
Yep.
My
Playing Three Blind Mice on it.
Yeah. No, not Three Blind Mice. Hot Cross Buns. It's the exact same song.
Yeah.
my elementary school
right,
music
though.
teacher, Miss Connor. I'll say her name. She probably doesn't listen to this.
No way, Miss Connor listens.
She looked like Edna from The Incredibles.
Oh no.
Yeah, you know the lady that made the super suit. She looked
Yes.
just like
No
her.
capes.
Yes.
Yes.
Let's talk about, you hinted on it a little bit, but let's talk about the spring shoot / launch. So Brian, you headed that up.
That is the hardest one of the year because it being spring and us having to shoot about a month early, which we were in February, and trying to find something that's green and looks like spring in the middle of February is not easy, especially in Texas because all the trees are dead. But we went to David Noble's ranch, so shout out to David. And we had some friends come out to model, and we were on the river, and we had a good time. So that stuff will be coming out here soon, content-wise. For the launch is March 18th.
All of the launch shoots are kind of difficult, and we release later than most companies. Like, most companies release their spring stuff in February. They release their fall stuff in August. So it's like, when are they shooting this stuff? Because like, you almost have to do it the year before.
Yeah.
Because we're late, and we're shooting for spring stuff in February when everything's dead. We're shooting fall stuff pretending like it's cold, and we have to shoot it in August in Texas, which is just ridiculous. What is your favorite shoot now that you've gone through the cycle once?
The fall one was good because I think it's easier to fake fall than it is to fake spring or summer.
And by fake, what do you mean?
As far as like the look, because in fall it can still be green and stuff.
You can just like you can basically like put a warm lens on it.
Kind of,
a
yeah.
warm filter.
It's more in like the editing and the color. But with spring, it's just so hard to fake dead trees and brown grass to an extent. Yeah, spring and summer. The winter one we did this last year was my favorite so far, just because location. It's crazy how much a location can make a difference when shooting things.
Yep.
So
It's easier to make green leaves look red and yellow and orange than to add leaves onto
correct.
trees.
Yes, very much so.
It's always crazy too. I think a lot of people don't understand. Like, someone responded. We posted a little bit on the Instagram story from the shoot, and a lot of people were responding saying, "Y'all just got done with the winter shoot, or with the winter launch, but we're already working towards that." I mean, we've already been having conversations about fall shoot, summer shoot. We're trying to nail down all that stuff right now. So we're always trying to work 7 to 12 months in advance. In Parker's case with products, sometimes 16, 18 months in advance. So there's a lot that goes into it besides what you guys just see on launch morning at 10 a.m. So what is your Parker favorite thing that's coming out in this launch?
The new conceal carry, olive conceal carry, Shannon 2.0.
Shannon 2.0.
If you got our first conceal carry, I thought that everything was really solid on it. We did have a few people notice that like the the like fastener tightener loops at the bottom of the waistband of it, sometimes they kind of came undone and didn't hold as steady. So this one we did replace the fasteners and then like changed that tightener a little bit and adjusted it. And then the holsters that come with it have like a sick olive matching like secondary logo on the inside of them. So that's the difference. And then it has an awesome American flag on the sleeve. So I'm excited for those. And we've done some cool content
Yes.
I like the corduroy sweater. It's like a burgundy color. It's
That
girls.
one's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one I guess guys could wear, but that's probably gonna go more girls. But we'll have some previews of that stuff coming up really really quickly. Because the spring launch is March 18th.
March
Yep.
18th.
I want to say this is the third time we've had March 18th.
Yeah, it's like always, or even if it's not March 18th,
Yeah, it's always
it's for a different
yeah.
launch. Like it's always the 18th
Yeah,
for some reason.
We've had so many 18th.
And it's always on a Friday too, which makes it even more amazing that it's just always an 18th.
Yeah, that is kind of surprising.
Are we gonna get any content on my bachelor party?
Yes.
Yeah,
That's
are.
actually
Got
why
to.
we're going on your bachelor party.
Yeah, Brian just wants to use it as a tax write-off.
Yep. So
He's just gonna take one picture of a hat on the mountain and then
I've been trying to
count
figure
it as
out
a business expense.
ever
business
since Brian said he
expense.
was going to do that. I've been trying to figure out how I can write mine off as a business
well, we
expense.
don't condone tax evasion in this podcast, but
I mean, maybe you don't. All right, we're going to go to break. We'll be right back with the fantasy rankings.
What's up, guys? Thanks for listening and watching to the podcast. Today's podcast is sponsored by the Yee Yee Mystery Box. I'm right here in the warehouse where we're shipping out a ton of mystery boxes. If you've kind of been in between launches or have been wanting to try something but haven't been wanting to spend too much money, this is our cool product that is only $10, and you could get a shirt or a hat or anything in between. So check it out. And let's get back to the podcast.
All right, fantasy rankings this week is the fantasy rankings of top childhood crushes. I think this is
so what does that mean exactly?
pretty self-explanatory. So you can't say Julie that sat in front of me in like 9th grade algebra. That doesn't play here. It's got to be from like TV show, movie, comic book if you're like Ben and into that stuff.
Rock, paper, scissors. Who goes first?
Wait, I want to go first. Y'all always get to go first.
All right, rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
All right. First up, I have Gabriella from High School Musical, also known as Vanessa
Wow.
Hudgens.
You really want to use that as your first pick?
Yep.
That would have probably been on the board next round.
That's right. I'm taking that one.
You're showing your age a little bit too, because I obviously I was around whenever High School Musical came about, but I wasn't as into it.
Well,
So
What song would you sing with her?
I don't know.
Got to do the Breaking Free one.
Breaking
Wait,
Free. Yep.
do y'all know any of those words?
Let's hear it.
Let's hear it. Go.
I forget them.
No. You can't do that. You can't do that.
He can't remember.
Mm-hmm.
There's the song. The only one I won't know is the first few words are like "We're flying."
That's the song. he's
That's the
talking
song. Okay,
Yeah.
come on, Ben. You know it. Please sing.
We gotta drive them to another video if they want to see me singing.
about. Yeah.
No, we are definitely not wasting a video on you singing this song.
Alrighty. We'll kick it to
No.
Hayden.
Yeah. My number one in fantasy rankings of childhood crushes should be everybody's number one. It is Topanga Lawrence from Boy Meets World. All time. I watched that show just for her. Great show, but man, smoking.
That
Good
is
call.
a great one.
Topanga had lip injections before lip injections were even a thing.
I think that some of her lips are a little bit natural, but I saw a picture of her a couple years ago, and she's still very beautiful. But you can tell that Botox has run its course. But yeah, she was a babe.
I'm gonna go with Jamie Lynn Spears from Zoe 101.
That's a good one.
Nice.
That's a very good one.
That is good.
Nice.
You may get some hate for that because a lot of people hate her right now because apparently
Free Britney.
Free
Oh,
Britney,
yeah.
hashtag Free Britney.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know
Is she
anything
freed?
past Free
I
Britney. I
think
think
she's
she's freed.
freed.
I think she
Nice.
got freed. A lot of people on my
Good for her.
timeline cared about that, and I did not.
What did Jamie Lynn have to do with it?
Apparently she was
She didn't want her to be free.
Yeah, apparently she was complicit in that whole thing with her parents, and I don't know. Now they hate each other. Whatever.
Yeah.
What you got?
All right. My number one pick for top childhood crushes is going to be Megan Fox, specifically in the first Transformers movie.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. There's that
classic.
one scene where
Everyone
is
knows.
it Sam is the main character?
I think.
Sam
It's like
Wiki.
Even
whatever
Stevens.
Shia LaBeouf's.
Wait, wait,
LaBeouf.
wait. Before we go on,
Shia LaBeouf.
I thought boofing was whenever you throw up.
I don't even know. That was just a total slip up.
Let's try it again.
Shia LaBeouf.
Okay, there you go.
All right. But yeah, he like
boo.
sees her first and she's like working on the car or whatever. Think like 7-year-old me was like, oh yeah, I'm going to marry her someday.
Everyone has that moment. Well, not everyone, but all straight guys have that moment when you're like, yeah, I like girls. For me, it was Topanga Lawrence. I guess it sounds like that was that moment for you. I almost said all guys. No, I guess some don't have that.
Okay, I'm gonna stick with the Disney train here, and my sister, growing up, always got to choose what we watched, so we watched a lot of Disney. And so I'm gonna go with Miley Cyrus, aka Hannah Montana.
Okay.
Yep, younger Miley Cyrus,
So you
when
like
she was on Hannah Montana. What?
so you like younger
No,
I think he
I
means
prefaced
not
younger
short
as
hair.
in not current.
yeah, short hair. That's
Not
what you
cu-
meant. Short hair. Younger.
Not current Miley Cyrus.
Hannah Montana.
Yes, Hannah Montana.
Yeah.
There you go.
We probably should have prefaced this with whenever we had crushes on all these girls, we were like 10.
7. Yes,
Yeah.
this
It is
not
a
now.
childhood crush. You're like younger than 13.
Yes.
Yeah.
When we were younger than
Yes.
13. All right.
We may get this
Please
one
don't
taken
take
down.
this down.
we may get this one taken down. I cannot believe this one lasted this long. I almost used it for my first pick. Kelly Kapowski from Saved by the Bell. I actually had more of a crush on her, but Boy Meets World was more current, whereas Saved by the Bell, like I think it kind of ended by the mid-90s. They did the whole college spinoff, but it wasn't that good. But yeah, Kelly Kapowski.
I never watched that show.
Me either.
I think it was a little bit before my time.
It was, but I remember they were still doing a lot of reruns, and my parents liked it, so I got into it. But yeah, Kelly Kapowski's got to be on the list.
You were either I had friends who were like Cartoon Network friends, and like that was what they watched in their house, and then there was like the Nickelodeon and Disney friends. You can never trust the Cartoon Network house.
No,
No,
never.
No.
If you walk in a friend's house and they're watching like Ed, Edd and Eddie or
Courage the Cowardly Dog.
like I don't know,
What a
they're like
creepy-
probably
Dexter's Lab.
Yeah.
their parents probably didn't care what they had for dinner and like probably didn't care what time they came home.
That's true.
That's actually a really good point. They just threw, they were the ones that left for work and just threw on Cartoon Network, and the only thing in the cabinet was like cereal, and they just let them have at it.
Yeah, it's like a starter kit of I don't care what y'all do as long as no one drives. And it's just like like Ed, Edd and Eddie on the TV.
Shout out to the Cartoon Network kids at home. We were very sorry. Hopefully you turned out okay. All right, what you got, Park?
I got a few picks on here.
Don't pull a Tyler. You got one, and then we can give
I'm
honorable
not gonna
mentions.
say them.
Okay,
I'm just
okay.
saying I'm going to choose between
God,
them.
Tyler is just all about that.
Poor Tyler.
Poor
Not here to
Tyler.
defend himself. I'm gonna go with Lizzie McGuire,
Nice.
Hilary Duff.
Yep, that was on my list too. That's an all-time.
And there's something more attractive about her knowing that she turned out normal.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
has a nice family now and isn't crazy.
That is
Yeah,
true.
you were the one telling me she did the How I Met Your Mother reboot. It's not that great. Was that you that I was talking about this with?
Is that?
That's Hilary Duff.
Yeah, that
Hilary
is.
Duff did it.
Yeah, I feel like I actually get her and Jamie Lynn Spears like kind of confused sometimes.
Kind of in that same era.
So I was like, I don't
Yeah.
know.
All right, what you got, Ben?
All right, my second pick, and everyone's gonna be like, of course, but it was Emma Watson as Hermione Granger in the Harry Potter movies. I'm a big Harry Potter guy, first of all, but it just always gave me hope as a young ginger, knowing that I could one day get the girl, even if my best friend was much more famous, had much more money, and was, let's be honest, much more handsome. It was just a lot of hope for the young ginge in me.
There you go.
Well done. Well done.
One would argue that Harry did not have more money.
He did.
Oh, he did. Oh, he
He had some family money.
family money. That's right.
Mhm.
But he lived under the stairs.
That's true. Because he didn't know he had that money.
That's true. Okay, you're right. Fair enough. Okay, third one here, and I'm gonna stick with the Disney once again. Selena Gomez.
Wizards of Waverly Place.
Wizards of
I knew
Waverly
this was
Place.
coming.
You would
Yep.
fall in love with
I
a
knew
wizard.
this was coming. Because you kind of have the Justin Bieber look going
Mhm.
in a way, especially
No,
when
you
you were
Justin and
younger.
No, you
Selena.
don't.
So is the
No, you
whole
don't.
Justin and Selena
Yeah.
thing.
You look nothing
him
like
have it.
Justin
Let him
Bieber.
have it.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, just looking for my Selena.
My third pick is Lola Bunny.
Nice.
Lola Bunny was smoking.
What
that from
is
Max and
that?
Ruby?
Is that a cartoon?
No.
Max and Ruby.
Especially in like Space Jam.
Dude,
Are you talking
Space
about-
Jam. Man, everybody was going crazy over Michael Jordan.
Okay.
I look up Lola
I
Bunny
did.
right now. If you're listening and you're not driving, look up Lola Bunny in Space Jam. She was hot. That was a hot rabbit.
And she was a cartoon.
She was a car. I don't care. She was hot. I hope my girlfriend's parents do not listen to this. All right, Park, what you got?
I am gonna go similar to Hayden, but a fictional character, Pink Power Ranger,
Oh,
Wow.
Yes.
Amy Jo Johnson.
You win.
Wait, that was her name?
Wow.
That was the actress's name.
Pink
Wait, I'm gonna
Power
look it up.
Ranger. Nice.
I thought that they switched them out sometimes. Did they not?
They probably did, but
So fun fact: the director of the movie Granger.
Oh, yeah, she
is
was hot.
directed a few of the original Power Ranger TV show episodes.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
for what that's worth.
thanks for that, Brian.
I had a crush on her too. But the Power Rangers, whenever I was into Power Rangers, didn't come on like regular TV, and we didn't have cable or anything growing up. So anytime I went to a friend's house, I was always up at like 9 a.m. Like their parents were always up, and then we were just all sleeping. But I would wake up and go watch Power Rangers in the living room.
Yeah.
Great show.
Any show that comes on a Saturday morning just automatically gets bonus points in your nostalgia memory
You're
because
right.
it was just such a good time.
Yeah, you're right. All right, Ben, last pick.
This is a tough one. But I'm going to go with Kirsten Dunst, especially in the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies.
Yeah. Very hot.
That's good.
But I was just always, Spider-Man was my favorite superhero. Always just wanted to be him. And Mary Jane Watson came along with it.
Nice.
Who's the best Spider-Man?
I have to go with Tom Holland if you're going true to the actual story, because Tobey Maguire was great and everything, but he's a little too goofy.
Mm-hmm.
Andrew Garfield is just a skater boy. He doesn't fit the bill at all, but Tom Holland is perfectly, like, he's this little nerd, but he just plays the part really well.
I haven't seen any of the new ones.
They're good.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
Y'all got any honorable mentions?
Jennifer Aniston,
well, yeah.
but that was
Mm.
kind of a
That's
given.
that's still current.
Yeah.
I think she's hotter now than she
We were
was 20
talking
years ago.
childhood.
Yeah, I know. That's why I didn't use her.
Mm,
She could be your mom.
Princess Leia,
That's
nice.
a good one.
Star Wars.
I was kind of on the fence between Kirsten Dunst and Drew Barrymore.
I've never
Drew
thought
Barrymore,
Drew Barrymore was pretty.
she was in this movie called Fever Pitch.
Oh, yeah, I know.
And so growing up, that's about like the 2004 Red Sox World Series run that they made. And Jimmy Fallon was also
Yep.
the main character,
Yeah,
and his
I remember
character's
that.
name was Ben. I wanted to be a math school teacher back then, so he was just like
Nice.
everything that I aspired to be. And so Drew Barrymore was just one of those childhood crushes for me.
My honorable mentions were Daphne from Scooby-Doo,
I was just about to say that.
Mm,
cartoon character and the movie.
Yeah.
Yep.
But the movie she was, I don't remember her name. It was the same girl. Was she on Buffy the Vampire Slayer?
Oh, it's
Gellin, or that's her last name. Stephanie Ann or
Isla
something?
Fisher? Is it?
No, that's not her. Amanda Bynes,
Mm.
Another
Amanda
girl.
Show. That
Yep.
was big.
Yeah.
And then underrated, Ashley from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Mm.
Jar- Do y'all remember that? Do y'all
Yeah.
watch Fresh Prince? Man, I had a crush on her.
Yeah.
They're bringing it back,
I know.
but it's gonna
and
be like a whole new storyline.
it's like a drama. I'm not
Mhm.
sure. I mean, because that is one of the top shows of all time. Across the board, the acting in that's incredible. The characters, like, I love Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, but
I think
yeah.
it could be one of those shows that flops.
I'll probably still watch it just
course.
because there's a lot of nostalgia tied to it. All right, we got anything else this week?
All good.
Let's go home.
Oh, yeah, it is 3. We can go home. Parker, can I go home?
See y'all
Did you finish your power
next
list?
week.
I did, actually. All right,
What
see
are
y'all
we doing
next
next
week.
week?
Wait, are we leaving or not?
Why should the listeners come back next week?
Because you're going to be clapping.
Because let's be honest, you've got nothing better to do.
Ben is going to sing.
Ben is gonna say
Brian's
Yep.
going to clap.
Ooh.
Oh.
And Hayden's going to play
Yes.
the flutophone.
Well, if
Alright.
you played the
Little
flutophone, I
talent
could
show?
sing to it, and we'd just be a band.
Are we doing a talent show next week?
And Brian will be the drums.
And Parker
Nice.
will jump off the roof.
Yeah, sure. Sure.
Countless, yeah.
All right.
All right. Thank y'all for listening. See y'all next week. Eat your veggies.